Okay, check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Check, check, check. Checking, checking, checking. 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4 5. Little audio test for today's matchup. Hoping that things go as planned. Check, check, check. Sounds like that's working okay. Okay, we got some good crowd noise too. Perfect. All right, we'll get out of that and we'll go mute and we should be good to go. Coach, you've had kind of a small sample size so far as to what it is that your team is going to be able to do in the Legion side of things. You're familiar with them, though, from high school baseball, but kind of separating the two, Legion versus Summer, what have you seen the first couple of go-arounds on the Legion side of things?
Yeah, I think we're a lot of the same. A lot of stuff is the same. We got Brody Gibson back this week, and we're excited to have him. He came yesterday for the first time, and so you're just trying to get everybody into the fold of giving everybody as many opportunities as you see fit, and that they earn to keep going forward. We had a good conversation about what guys can expect when you're trying to fit 12 guys into a 9 or 10 man lineup. And make the most of it the best you can for the talent that we're fortunate enough to have. So I think, we think.
Coach, you've had kind of a small sample size so far as to what it is that your team is going to be able to do in the Legion side of things. You're familiar with them, though, from high school baseball, but kind of separating the two, Legion versus Summer, what have you seen the first couple of go-arounds on the Legion side of things?
Yeah, I think we're a lot of the same. A lot of stuff is the same. We got Brody Gibson back this week, and then we're.
The following is a presentation of KNOX Sports.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to our coverage of American Legion Baseball today on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. We are live today here in Thompson, where we get set for the start of today's non-conference matchup. It'll feature Thompson post 181 and Grafton post 41 today, and it's a pleasure to bring it to you today on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. Ryan Cunningham with you here today. We're going to have a little bit of a late start today, and the reason for that is that apparently there was a bit of a miscue between the schedulers. The Thompson folks thought this game was going to be at 5, and the Grafton folks thought this game would be at 5:30. Either way, we'll get it for you. We understand that start times will be shortly after 5 o'clock today, and we have an opportunity to visit with the Thompson head baseball coach today as well. Anyway, Nate Solis, and so that'll give us an opportunity to extend our pregame out today. And we bring it to you today on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. Thompson's at home after a go-around last night with Hatton Northwood, and now they'll get ready to step into non-league play. And one of the big questions that we'll talk about a bit later on in our coach's interview with Nate Solis, the head coach of the Thompson baseball team, will be what is left to do? What's the next step to take here? You've been playing baseball, obviously, since really the first week of April, if you could get going that early. And it's not one season, it's two. And the state tournament came and went, but really there's a connection between all of the seasons sort of put together. And so now you're down to the final month or so before it's time to go into postseason play, qualify out of a district, try to make your way to a state tournament, and then do what you're going to do to get there as well. And you've got a non-league game where you're looking for an opportunity to see what your team can do without it having to count for points inside the district. And Coach Solis will tell us today about trying to get back ahead in the counts. He says that his team is having some arm problems right now. He says most teams do have arm problems at this point. He didn't appear to be concerned about it, but he did say that he's looking for somebody to step out and do something on the mound that might be unexpected. And Braden Wolfgram will get the start today for game one. That won't be unexpected, but in game two, when they go with Eli Gemmel, they're looking to see if he can step up and perform at a pace that perhaps they're not expecting. Now, we do expect a pretty good pitching matchup today because Kyler Drogue will be the starter today for Grafton. He's been one of their better performers throughout the course of the last couple of years, and this is a pretty good Grafton American Legion baseball team that's here with a deep bench and a lot of players that are available. And so just like we had last week with Park River, we expect that this will be a pretty good non-conference game. Grafton plays up in what is called District 5. Their district opponents include Minto, Larimore, Langdon, Park River, and then, of course, themselves. And that's a gauntlet of a district that's up there to try to make your way to the state tournament. But the wild card for Grafton this year is that there's already going to be one team out of their section in the state tournament. Park River will be there. They're hosting the tournament. And so right now there's an opportunity for two teams out of that section to make it, whereas under normal circumstances, perhaps that wouldn't exist. You'd only have one of those to get out of there. So there's a lot of wiggle room to play with in District 2, or rather in District 5, if you have the opportunity to get two teams there. So there's a lot going on as we get ready in this non-conference game today, and then it's time to get ready for one more week before the 4th of July and come back and almost start putting a wraps on things today, but we expect this one to be a good one. We bring it to you courtesy of our premier sports partners. They include Rivards Turf and Forage, a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. You can find them online at rivards.com. All of their products available to you online at Rivards and Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. If it's time for a new trailer or it's time for service on your current trailer, Grand Trailer Sales has you covered with the options that you're looking for to keep things moving in the right direction. Now, we got a lot to do, so we'll have our conversation with Nate Solis, the head coach of Thompson Post 181 American Legion Baseball, coming up here in our pregame report. Standings for both District 5 and District 6. We'll take a look at those and drive for the title. Highlight a couple of players to watch here tonight and get ready for first pitch. That will be, well, I don't know, 5:10, something along those lines, 5:05, 5:10, somewhere just a little bit late tonight. I mean, after all, what's 5 or 5:30 between friends, right? Grafton and Thompson, that's what we have set for you tonight in non-conference American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and we've got more for you coming up in just a couple of moments. Stay with us.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new again. Big or small, at Finest Auto Trim, we can cover it all. To check out our services, go to finestautotrim.com or stop out on Demers Avenue in Grand Forks to get your quote today.
When you think breakfast, you think Perkins Restaurant. Whether you keep it simple with a fresh baked mammoth muffin and coffee or go all out and try the tremendous 12 breakfast, Perkins Restaurant is your breakfast place. Perkins Restaurant and a great breakfast make the perfect team. Since 1972, Jarrell's Sports Center and Hockey World has provided year-round sporting goods, apparel, and of course, hockey equipment and training tools. You'll also find they have a state-of-the-art skate sharpening machine to give you the edge you need. For anything sports, stop in to Jarrell's and Hockey World.
Residents of the Midwest are known for being self-starters and getting the job done. But when it comes to electrical work, it's best to call a professional. Hi, this is Steve from Bergstrom Electric. It's true that there's a certain glory to accomplishing a task on your own, but it's our experience that not only will save you time, but also the headaches that go along with home improvement projects. A simple phone call to Bergstrom Electric can make all the difference. At Bergstrom Electric, the light does shine brighter.
As guys, we all love our trucks. That's why Toys for Trucks is your headquarters for all things truck. They carry an amazing selection of rims and tires, plus floor mats, tonneau covers, hitches, plows, and even Excalibur remote car starters for any car, truck, or SUV. And the best part? They can install everything for your truck right at their location. Stop out at Toys for Trucks in Grand Forks to customize your ride, or check them out at toysfortrucks.com.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, no matter what the size, PS Doors offers the proper service for you. Get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Add a pop of color and excitement to your next celebration with Balloons by Misty. Their one-of-a-kind balloon design skills and creativity will make your event unforgettable. It's always a party at Balloons by Misty. Visit balloonsbymisty.com today.
Franson Bank and Trust in Grand Forks is a community bank that caters to businesses, farms, and consumers. They provide customized financial solutions with personalized customer service. Let Franson Bank give you the banking relationship you deserve. Real people, real results.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports as we roll into our pregame report for today. Our pregame report is brought to you by True North Equipment. They are true to your values and ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley. True North Equipment is the home of the John Deere products that you've come to know and love generationally in our area, and now it's time for you to take advantage of their services, both for service and sales, at True North Equipment with 10 locations to serve you. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. Signature Graphics and Apparel can attach the etched products and the various materials to any article of clothing to give your logo an extra pop, and it really does do great work when you have the opportunity to take wood, take metal, plastic, whatever you're looking for, and actually turn your logo through that material into something that you can wear. It's durable, it's fashionable, and they do that work for you along with vinyl signage, which is something that a lot of places have a struggle finding someone to do for them. You can also get a look at some, obviously, screen printing and their custom embroidery at Signature Graphics and Apparel. They have you covered with what you're looking for in East Grand Forks. Ryan Cunningham with you here today from Thompson. This one will get started a little bit later today as the Tommies are just going out to take care of warm-ups now. I shouldn't say the Tommies, but rather post 181. And one of the reasons is that there was a miscue in the scheduling between these two teams today. Grafton was under the impression that this game was at 5:30. And instead it's at 5 o'clock, and it's going to be now about 5:05 or something along those lines. Non-conference matchup, though, obviously plenty of chances to recover in this one. Before we go on to our conversation with our head coach, Nate Solis, the head coach of Thompson Post 181, let's take a look at Drive for the Title. Drive for the Title is brought to you today by Toys for Trucks, and you can see that we have two different districts that we're keeping track of here today. District 6, where Thompson is, and District 5, where Grafton comes from. And coming into the day, Thompson right now is 1-0, but I believe we have one victory or defeat that has not yet been recorded. They played Hatton Northwood last night, and as of time to go to press for this one today, that score was not yet in. But Thompson came into the day without a loss, but certainly trailing in the win column as a number of other teams have had some extra games that they have not yet played. Hillsborough Central Valley currently 3-1, Hatton Northwood 2-1, Mayport CG 2-2. They've come back for a couple of league victories, even though they're 6-11. They're right there in the heart of this thing. Thompson 1-0, Fargo Oak Grove still waiting to play. They must have played by now, but a gap in the communication process trying to get scores. And then Gardner 0-3 and 0-4 in the overall category. And that's a bit of a surprise as Gardner, of course, is Northern Cass's territory. And Northern Castle's state tournament baseball team this year in the high school season. As for District 5, where Grafton comes from, Park River is currently 2-0, undefeated in the district. Grafton is 4-1, the leader as far as wins are concerned. Langdon currently 2-1. Larimore is 1-2. They had a very nice high school season, did Larimore. We'll see if they can carry that over into some Legion success. And Minto is currently 0-4 as far as District 5 play is concerned. Drive for the Title is brought to you by Toys for Trucks. They are your car, truck, and Jeep accessory supercenter in Grand Forks, a full showroom of custom wheels and rims that they're ready to help you with to take that ride to the next level. When you're trying to improve that hot rod of yours, that driving car during the summer, the car that you're taking to all the car shows, you've got Toys for Trucks on your side. Any accessory that you're looking for, you can find it at Toys for Trucks, and performance tires as well. Any make and model performance tires that you have in mind, they can cover for you at Toys for Trucks in Grand Forks. That's a look at Drive for the Title. It's brought to you by Toys for Trucks as we continue along with our pregame report today. When we come back, Nate Solis will join us, the head coach of Thompson American Legion Baseball, and we'll talk with him about taking the next step in non-conference play today, what's left for this Thompson team to try to put on the board as we go into basically the final month of baseball before the final state tournament of the year. This clock is definitely ticking. Grafton, Thompson today in Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
You've been waiting for a chance to do something that matters, something big without a big price tag. Welcome to Northland Community and Technical College. Here you can have a big impact on a small campus, in classrooms that mirror today's workplace, with instructors who teach from experience and know you by name. You've been waiting for a place like this. Are you ready?
Need seed, think Proseed. Proseed.net.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersSales.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Plus, they also carry a full line of ice melter products for your home or business. To check out all their products, go to rivards.com.
Picture yourself at Lake Region State College. With faculty and staff here to help you succeed, we know you by name. Picture your success as you get hands-on ready for the workforce or transfer on to earn your bachelor's degree. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. They have pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. Go to sprayadvantage.com.
Your local Circle K and Holiday Station stores are proud to support high school activities. Stop by the new Circle K location at 1316 South Washington Street for not only gas, but a wide array of hot and cold food, snacks for everyone, and a car wash. Open 24/7, 7 days a week.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sale Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports, as we continue from Thompson, North Dakota. Today, Thompson Post 181 will take on Grafton Post 41 in a non-conference matchup between these two teams. And again, both teams in pretty good spots right now as far as their regular seasons are concerned. We did find out during the break that Thompson does have an extra league win. They defeated Hatton Northwood last night in the league game by a final score of 14-2, and that's an impressive win because Hatton Northwood had given Park River all they wanted earlier in the year and came up with a win, and Hatton Northwood had also taken a game off of Hillsborough Central Valley, so a big win for Thompson. That would put them up to a 2-0 spot inside the District 6 standings. Going back to that just a moment ago, we had Drive for the Title out there. We showed you Thompson. You can see it there on the left-hand side of your screen. Was 1-0. They are 2-0 as far as their games are concerned inside the district at that point. That puts them in a pretty good spot right now with a win over Hatton Northwood. They've already beaten Mayport CG. Hatton Northwood has a win over Hillsborough Central Valley. So right now Thompson finding some cruise control, at least getting started, and Grafton 4-1 inside league play coming into this one, and so that means that we've got a couple of pretty good teams that are in line for this one tonight. Up next in our pregame report, brought to you by True North Equipment and Signature Graphics and Apparel, is our conversation with Nate Solis, the head coach of Thompson Post 181 American Legion Baseball. And we visited with Coach Solis today and asked him a bit about the small sample size at this point and what he's seen from his team so far. Much of the same, but he'll tell us about some changes that come in when you get a super senior back for the first time just last night. We also talked about his young catcher, Dex Advem, an 8th grader that's shown us some pretty smooth things behind home plate already this year in just a couple of games that we have seen from Thompson. And we also asked him later on in the conversation about the step that is yet to be taken for Thompson. What's up next for this Thompson American Legion baseball team and what they have to do to improve. But we began asking him about what he's seen from his team so far this year. Coach, you've had kind of a small sample size so far as to what it is that your team is going to be able to do in the Legion side of things. You're familiar with them, though, from high school baseball, but kind of separating the two, Legion versus Summer, what have you seen the first couple of go-arounds on the Legion side of things?
Yeah, I think we're a lot of the same. A lot of stuff is the same. We got Brody Gibson back this week, and we're excited to have him. He came yesterday for the first time, and so you're just trying to get everybody into the fold of giving everybody as many opportunities as you see fit, and that they earn to keep going forward. We had a good conversation about what guys can expect when you're trying to fit 12 guys into a 9 or 10 man lineup. And make the most of it the best you can for the talent that we're fortunate enough to have. So I think, we've faced a lot of really good pitching. Saw Derek Carpenter last night from Hatton Northwood, Theo Ramfo, Jax Johnson from Langdon the last week, Tucker Amdahl. So we're in about a 4-game stretch here of seeing guys that, you could argue could be an ace at a lot of different teams. So, and it's going to be no different tonight. I'd assume we'd face, Kyler Droog. For sure. So then I don't know what else they'll do after that. I think they got a tournament coming up. So every coach is a little bit different there. So we're seeing a lot of challenging arms, but the positive note is that we're putting the ball in play. We're having some good at-bats. And it prepares you for the postseason. That's why we play tough schedules. We get better when we face opponents like that and pitchers that are on the mound. So, like I said, we're seeing a lot of good things with guys moving around a little bit. Think like Braden Tice. Played a little bit of third. Now he's playing second base this summer. So he's got a little bit of a adjustment to make there, but he's done a fantastic job. Like I said, Brody Gibson coming back center field. He was back last night, like I had said, and kid didn't miss a beat. You were a little bit worried about, he hadn't played in over almost a calendar year. But he's been doing work on his own, and he was jacked. It was fun to see him at the field, and really, I think he is happy with his choice that he made, and fun to be back with the guys.
What's it like for a super senior to come back? And, it's one thing that they haven't played for a year. It's another thing that when they join guys that played so well together in the high school level, they haven't seen him for a year yet either. But he's from Thompson, and they know who he is. So was that level of familiarity there just pretty much right away?
Yeah, it's so different. When you get a kid back like Braden Wolfgram, he's played all spring, had a long and very successful freshman year at Concordia. So there's no rust there. And then you get a guy like Brody Gibson back, and he hasn't played baseball this spring. You could tell that he had missed being with the guys, and I think we pulled up to the field, and he had met us there, and he was already there stretching and fired up, and it was, like I said, it was really fun to have him back. And the guys, that's the fun thing about coaching this group in particular is, we got a lot of selfless guys. Obviously, they want to have their own individual successes, as everybody. But you know what? There was no ruffling of feathers when he came back and is in the lineup. Everybody's just excited to have him back, and you know what? He's a good teammate and a good leader for us. So, yeah, I mean, I think you get that itch when you lose sports, after your high school years and you're just going to college and being a student, and you forget how much fun that those memories are, whether they're on the field, off the field, but being with your teammates, that can be a fun experience that we're fortunate enough to have those two back for this summer.
One guy that I've been impressed with that's a young guy, not necessarily the older guys, Dex Advem behind the plate. In the couple of games that we've seen, he's made some really tough defensive plays, a back pick on a runner, barehanding a ball, and a chopper out in front of the plate. He looks like he's been playing for a long time, except for his size. He's small, so you can tell he's a little bit younger, but man, that guy's making some great plays for you behind the plate right now.
Yeah, he makes it look really easy too. And he's just a very talented kid that, he uses that talent, but he also works extremely hard. There's a lot of times where I'm driving into town and he's at the cage hitting, or he's at the cage at night or in the morning. He's just a gym rat. Yeah, you're right. His size he's smaller, but he plays big. Not a lot of times coaches would feel real comfortable trotting him out. I mean, he started a state championship behind the plate, and calling a game. We have the pitch comm, so I'm in his ear a little bit, whether he loves that or not. I'm sure some days is better than others. But, to trust somebody like that, it means that they have to be talented, but they also have to put the time in so that that they can handle it. And he's got he plays the game the right way. He knows the game. He's got a good IQ. And he's learned, Dad's an assistant coach for us. So he's one of the benefits that he's gotten as a youngster, not even being on the team, is he's been around the team. Ryan's been with me for all 5 years now. So 5 years, ever since he was a third grader, he has seen the likes of the kids that have gone on to play college baseball, and he sees what they've done, and he knows how it needs to be. So, he's a really good player, but better yet, he plays the game the right way. He's a really good kid too.
What do you want to see out of the remaining non-league games that you have? Obviously, you're into your league season at this point. We get that. But you're also at a point where you're a month away from the postseason. And I'm sure that when you've got a Legion team that's got a couple of super seniors, you're looking to even elevate a level higher maybe than what you played in the high school season. So based on the calendar and what you see coming up with the non-league game tonight and so on, what do you want to see from your team? What's the next step?
I want to see us continue to make plays defensively. I really liked where we're at with that. I need to see some guys step up on the mound, and we've got some arm problems going on right now, as does every team. So I'm not saying it's as an excuse, but I need somebody. We need somebody that is going to step up. An example would be like a Tom Schumacher. He's going to be able to step up for us when we need him most in the postseason. But who are the young guys that are going to step up? We're going to start Eli Gimmel in the second game tonight, who hasn't got a ton of varsity innings, but he has really taken his role as a second baseman that started out this spring and did a really good job for us, making a lot of great plays. And then you just see that couple over with confidence on the mound. And so we're going to give him an opportunity on the mound tonight. And hopefully he can step up. He's a kid that we're going to need next year and years going forward to be able to go and deliver strikes. I think we're getting away from being able to get ahead in the count on the mound and being able to work off of that. That's been a point of emphasis, and it needs to improve. I think the guys know that. So that's kind of what we're looking for on the mound. And then, I would say just stringing a few more hits together. We see hitting is contagious. We've just kind of, one hit here, one hit there. You look at the box score at the end of the day, you're like, geez, why don't we get any more runs? It's because we can't string those hits together right now. And we have at times. And we're also facing tough pitching, like I said. So, you know what, maybe it's not hits, maybe it's walks, maybe it's putting pressure on the defense, taking some extra bases. We had that conversation yesterday. So I think there's always definitely room to improve always. You're not playing perfect. But how can we take advantage of mistakes that other teams make and then use that to our advantage?
Those comments from Nate Solis, the head coach of the Thompson Post 181 American Legion baseball team. Umpires are here. Teams are meeting. It looks like we're actually going to get this one underway on time today. We were expecting perhaps a delayed start due to the fact that Grafton had this as a 5:30 game. Thompson had it as a 5 o'clock game. But, hey, we got things ready in a hurry. The umpires were here on time, and so right now they're meeting at home plate. So we'll take one final break in our pregame report. We're going to come back, take a look at those starting lineups, and get ready to throw out the first pitch of today's matchup and get this thing going today between Grafton and Thompson. It'll be Post 181 hosting Post 41. Thompson hosting Grafton today on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. Our pregame report brought to you again today by True North Equipment. True to your values, ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the Red River Valley and Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. We have our starting lineups in baseball on the way next.
Add a pop of color and excitement to your next celebration with Balloons by Misty. Their one-of-a-kind balloon design skills and creativity will make your event unforgettable. It's always a party at Balloons by Misty. Visit balloonsbymisty.com today.
Residents of the Midwest are known for being self-starters and getting the job done. But when it comes to electrical work, it's best to call a professional. Hi, this is Steve from Bergstrom Electric. It's true that there's a certain glory to accomplishing a task on your own, but it's our experience that not only will save you time, but also the headaches that go along with home improvement projects. A simple phone call to Bergstrom Electric can make all the difference. At Bergstrom Electric, the light does shine brighter.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
Welcome back to our coverage of American Legion baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports today from Thompson. That'll do it for our pregame report brought to you today by True North Equipment. True to your values and ready to serve you with 10 locations throughout the region. And Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. Well, let's take a look at our starting lineups as we get ready to go for today's matchup. Our starting lineups are brought to you today by Franson Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. FransonBank.com for Grafton. Leading off in center field is Trenton Keena. Batting second is catcher Cruiser Burns. Tony Villarreal will bat third at short, and Kyler Drogue will be on the pitcher's mound today cleaning up. Ty Story will bat fifth at second base. Kyan Burns bats sixth at third base. Soren Olsen in right field will bat seventh. Brody Lillimone will bat eighth at first base. And Wes Johnson out in left field will bat ninth today for Grafton. For Thompson, leading off is center fielder Brody Gibson. Batting second, Braden Wolfgram, the pitcher. Thomas Schumacher at short will bat third. Will Welke will clean up at first base. Drew Odenbach is the designated hitter. He'll bat fifth. Johnny Muse in left field will bat sixth. Batting seventh is Jeremy Tice. In right field, Eli Gemmel will bat eighth at second base, and Dex Advem behind the plate moves to the number 9 spot in the order. So, again, that's the option that you have when a guy like Brody Gibson comes back to the game for you. When you're Thompson, you put him into the top of your lineup, you can take your number 1 guy, move him to number 9, and actually have a second leadoff hitter. It works out rather well. Braden Wolfgram sets to deliver to Trenton Keena. He does, and the pitch is called a strike at the knees. We are underway early. Grafton thought this was going to be at 5:30. We were expecting a late game, and then we get the first pitch at 4:57. That's an efficient turnaround. The 0-1 pitch on the way, swinging a foul back to the screen by Keena, and it's no balls and 2 strikes on Trenton Keena. We'll take a look at our game fuel and our keys for the game coming up here in just a couple of moments. Braden Wolfgram, a key part of those keys for Thompson. Again, they wanted to get ahead of counts, something they got away from as of late, according to Coach Solis. The 0-2 is high, and the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes on Trenton Keena. Keena's a lefty, stands ready at the plate. A look in by pitcher Braden Wolfgram. Wolfgram will come set, and the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a drive left side, base hit in the hole between short and third, and Trenton Keena is aboard with a single to get things started here today. Well, taking a look at the keys for the game today, brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. For Grafton, the Post 41 team telling us that timely hitting and playing strong in the fundamentals, something they're looking for today. And as you heard from Coach Nate Solis for Thompson, putting hits together, not just a hit here or there, but putting hits together and getting ahead in counts from a pitcher's position, the keys that they're looking for here today. Bunt is shown and taken away. Pitch misses high on Cruiser Burns. Our keys the game brought to you today by Jarrell Sports Center. They are ready. Any skate, any pad. They've got the new Bauer skates that are now in at Jarrell Sports Center. Come in and get a fitting for those. The 1-0 pitch is high, and it pops off of Dex Advim's glove and gets back to the screen. That'll be an easy move up for Trenton Keena. Now what will be a pass ball. And at Jarrell Sports Center, they're going to give you a proper fitting for those Bauer skates as well, so you can keep your performance high. New Bauer skates in. Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. It's always hockey season. The 2-0 pitch, swinging a ground ball foul. Left side off of Cruiser Burns' bat. And that'll bring the count to 2 balls and a strike on Cruiser Burns. We're just underway here in the top of the first inning. And the leadoff man is aboard for Grafton in scoring position against Braden Wolfgram. The 2-1 called a strike. Wolfgram took something off that, maybe a straight change on it. The count to Burns is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bunt was shown by Grafton during the at-bat, but they didn't have to use an out to move a runner over as the ball got away from Advim. This one's in the dirt, blocked by Dex Advim. Good block behind the plate. And it's now 3 balls, 2 strikes on Cruiser Burns. So a tough start for Braden Wolfgram here in the top of the first inning. Keena will lead away. A look in towards the plate. Wolfgram checks the runner. Payoff pitch. High, ball 4. And that's going to put him on at first and second. So Braden Wolfgram with a tough start here today. A single given up to the leadoff man. Now walks Cruiser Burns. 2 on, nobody out. And Tony Villarreal, the shortstop, will come to the plate for Grafton here in the first inning with the table set for him. Dangerous bat to have at the plate in this situation for Grafton with multiple runners aboard here in the first inning. Villarreal stands ready, and the pitch to him. It's a strike, outer half. No balls and a strike on Villarreal. Fastball back to Wolfgram. Again, trying to get ahead of that batter. Get that first strike. Look back at second base. Keena hanging out there. Pitch is low. A check swing by Villarreal. He holds up. Another good play by Dex Advim behind the plate to block that pitch and keep it from getting away. A ball and strike. Set by Wolfgram, the 1-1. Shot towards second, and it's right through the wickets on Eli Gemmel. May have been a textbook double play ball. Instead, it's going to be an error. A run will come around to score, and it will be Grafton taking a 1-0 lead. Ball headed right at Eli Gemmel. He might have been pulling up, looking to turn the double play right away, and it's going to turn into an error that will be charged to the second baseman. Burns will go all the way to third, and Villarreal will reach, and that's a tough start for Grafton, or actually for Thompson all the way around. Really good start for Grafton to take advantage of a miscue. And now runners at the corners for Kyler Drogue, who has a chance to help himself. He's the pitcher today. He'll swing and hit one foul behind the plate. And it's no balls and a strike on Kyler Drogue. Gemmel's going to get the start in day 2 from a pitcher's perspective today, according to Nate Solis. And Coach Solis had kind of given him some lauds and accolades for the way that he's played into his second baseman's role, but that time a little tough. The bluff 5-3, step towards third by Wolfgram, and then a back pivot to first base, no one going anywhere. No balls, a strike on Kyler Drogue. The 0-1 pitch in the turf. That squirts away from Advam, and that's going to allow a base runner to advance as Villarreal will go on to second base with a wild pitch. So a single, a walk, a pass ball, a wild pitch, and an error. And that has put 1 in and 2 on for Grafton here in the top of the first inning. Drogue ready, 1-1. Check swing by Drogue. It's called a strike. And Wolfgram gets one back. The count of ball and 2 strikes. Runners from second and third. Burns from third. Villarreal from second. And the 1-2 pitch. High. Count will level up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wolfgram back to the fastball on that delivery. He takes a look in again. Sets right at the chest. The 2-2 to Drogue. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. It's a big out to get for Wolfgram with a couple of runners in scoring position. And Wolfgram has his first strikeout today as Kyler Drogue goes down swinging. 1 out. Ty Story, the second baseman, comes to the plate now for Grafton. Looking to continue the rally for post 41. The pitch to Story. Fastball for a strikeout or half. Well, if Thompson were to come out of this only giving up 1 run, they'd feel pretty good about it. If Grafton only got a run, they would probably feel a little upset. The opportunity has been there for more. The set and the pitch from Wolfgram. The 0-1 call to strike at the knees. Kept it down in the zone. Story kind of grimaces, looks back over towards the dugout, but looked like a pretty good pitch on the bottom end of the zone. No balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2 from Wolfgram got him swinging. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts as Wolfgram rallies. 2 on, 2 out, 1 in for Grafton. Here in the visitors' half of the first, Kyan Burns will come to the plate. Wolfgram steps into his set. The pitch. A pop fly slicing right side towards the parking lot, and that'll get out of play. Oh, 0-1 on Burns. Wolfgram rocks into his set once again. A look in. The 0-1 pitch. Called a strike right down the heart of the plate for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. The first 3 reached safely. Grafton scored 1 down to their final strike, though, here in the top of the first inning. Set by Wolfgram. The 0-2 pitch just missed high. A ball and 2 strikes now on Wolfgram. Or rather on Burns from Wolfgram. Wolfgram will set. The 1-2 pitch. Chopped foul. Just a piece. A little late in the swing that time by Burns. Kind of shortening up. 2-strike count. Keeping the bat back. Making sure that he can get a piece of it and stay alive in the at-bat. And he fouls it off. By the way, folks, we'll get the outs on the screen for you there. My apologies. 2 away. A set. The 1-2 pitch. Off speed, it's sliced down the line right side, twisting, and a diving stab comes up empty out in right field by Jeremy Tice. Well, I was wondering what the aroma was that was coming up here, and if you take a look off across Highway 15, there is a big backyard fire going on over there in one of the homes. You don't see that kind of smoke off of just a good old-fashioned, getting out in the backyard kind of thing. So either they're disposing of something, or I guess the worst thing would be they don't know about it. Let's hope that they're disposing of something. That probably is the best guess at this point. A ball and 2 strikes. Burns stands ready. Wolfgram takes a look back at second base. And the 1-2 pitch to Burns. Just missed away. Wolfgram a little step off the bump. Might have been trying to will that pitch over the outside corner for a strike. Count now 2-2 on Kyan Burns. Wolfgram ready, delivers. The 2-2 swung at, missed strike 3. Big rally by Braden Wolfgram, who comes back to strike out 3 straight after a tough start of the inning. Grafton picks up a run on a hit and an error and leaves 2 in scoring position, and perhaps missed a big opportunity to get more in that inning. But they'll lead 1-0 over Thompson as we go to the bottom of the first after a half inning of play. Your score, Grafton 1, Thompson 0 on our All-True scoreboard. Our changeover is brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region, and brought to you by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround promotional goods family-owned shop in Grand Forks. We're back with more next on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. KNOX Live Sports.
Since 1972, Jarrell's Sports Center and Hockey World has provided year-round sporting goods, apparel, and of course, hockey equipment and training tools. You'll also find they have a state-of-the-art skate sharpening machine to give you the edge you need. For anything sports, stop into Jarrell's and Hockey World.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Your local Circle K and Holiday Station stores are proud to support high school activities. Stop by the new Circle K location at 1316 South Washington Street for not only gas, but a wide array of hot and cold food, snacks for everyone, and a car wash. Open 24/7, 7 days a week.
Welcome back to our coverage of Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Kyler Droge will go to the hill for Grafton and work with a 1-0 lead after a tough start for Thompson today. Trenton Keena leads it off with a single, advances on a pass ball. Cruiser Burns walks. Tony Villarreal grounds towards second base. Looked like a textbook double play ball, but Eli Gemmel comes up empty on the ball that trickles out into right field. That scores a run and puts him at the corners with nobody out, but Braden Wolfgram, a big response for Thompson, striking out Kyler Droge, Ty Story, and Kyan Burns in order to get out of the first inning. And now it's Kyler Droge that will come to the plate. Our tools for the game and our game fuel brought to you today by Circle K, with 4 locations right now in Grand Forks to serve you, more coming as they've acquired the Dusteroff properties, their brand new location that they have in Midtown on South Washington Street. Fantastic place. They've got a very solid beverage bar. They've got a robust frozen food section. They're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year at Circle K. Thompson players to watch: Thomas Schumacher, Will Welke, Braden Wolfgram, and we could have put Brody Gibson in that mix as well. He's going to lead things off today. We'll get a look at what Brody has to offer today and see where he fits into that lineup, but he'll be up there right away. And for Grafton, Brody Lillemone's had a good year swinging the bat so far for Grafton. Kyler Droge going to be on the hill today, and we mentioned Trenton Bronson Keena led things off for Grafton in the top of the first inning with a single, and that allowed for the first run to come across. And that's your game fuel today, and it's brought to you by Circle K in Grand Forks. We will see Brody Gibson come to the plate for Thompson. Kyler Droge delivers. Gibson will take one high for ball 1. Brody Gibson played last night for the first time this season for Thompson, a super senior. And an interesting story right now for post 181. The 1-0 pitch to him, swing and a miss. You heard in our pregame report tonight from Nate Solis that Brody did not play college baseball and so had been out of the game for close to a calendar year, but man, was he psyched to play. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a foul out in front of it. The count is a ball and 2 strikes. They said when they got to the field, Brody was already there, stretching out, ready to go, wanted to hang around the guys, wanted to be a part of a sport again. Droge delivers 1-2, and it's high. Count will go to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good fastball from Kyler Droge. Looks very comfortable out on the hill. Tall, lanky kid for Grafton. Good velocity on a fastball. Looks like a pitcher. The 2-2 to Gibson. Little off speed on a sidearm delivery. Misses away, and the count's full at 3 balls and 2 strikes on Brody Gibson for Thompson. Gibson taking a look, waiting to step into the box. He's ready as Droge pitches off the left side of the pitcher's rubber. And the payoff on the way to Gibson. Solid shot to center field, fairly well hit. Back after it, Keena backtracking, and he'll make the catch. Solid line drive for Brody Gibson, but Trenton Keena had a good jump on it, and that was really the key to making that catch. He hesitates on that any more than he did. That ball's going to get over his head and go a while, but really good break on the ball by Trenton Keena. Read it well off the bat of Brody Gibson. And Gibson is out number 1 for Thompson in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring Braden Wolfgram to the plate for post 181. Drogue's delivery. Called a strike. It looks as though Drogue has got a pretty good straight changeup to go along with the fastball. Seen him go sidearm delivery, so he's changing up his delivery, changing up locations. The 0-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball to third, backhanded by Kyan Burns. Nice play. Burns across the diamond for out number 2. Solid play for Kyan Burns down at third base. He had to backhand that, and there was a lot of room between him and the third base line, and he went out and got a stab on it, was able to make that play. 2 out, nobody on for Thompson in the home half of the first inning. And Tom Schumacher will come to the plate for Thompson. Drogue taking a look in for his sign for Grafton. And the pitch to Schumacher, swing and a miss. Big fastball from Drogue. You just see in Kyler Drogue, he just looks comfortable out on the pitcher's mound. He just looks like that's the position he's meant to be in. The 0-1. Breaking pitch perhaps, or something off of that, a little off speed, missing away. Count goes to a ball and a strike. From this angle where we sit above the third base dugout, it's tough to tell if that's a curveball with some movement or just straight change. Here's a swing and a drive off of Schumacher's bat towards right field and twisting foul. The count's a ball and 2 strikes. Probably Drogue's version of a curveball, but the reason why it's deceptive is his curveball is going to have better velocity than a lot of curveballs at this level. The 1-2, fastball's high on Schumacher. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Schumacher stands ready. Drogue shakes off a couple of signs, has what he's looking for. The 2-2 to Schumacher, swing and a miss, got him on strikes, and Thompson will go down in order on the first strikeout for Kyler Drogue of the game. Nothing across in the home half of the first inning. We played a full, and your score after an inning of play is Grafton 1 and Thompson nothing. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
ProAg in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Will Rich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything ProAg has to offer.
You've been waiting for a chance to do something that matters, something big without a big price tag. Welcome to Northland Community and Technical College. Here you can have a big impact on a small campus, in classrooms that mirror today's workplace, with instructors who teach from experience and know you by name. You've been waiting for a place like this. Are you ready?
Our coverage of American Legion Baseball brought to you by Grand Trailer Sales. They're your home for all things trailer at East Grand Forks. If it's time for a new trailer or it is time to get service for your current trailer to make it run like new, Grand Trailer Sales has you covered. They're in East Grand Forks on Highway 2 East. We go to the top of the second. Soren Olsen leads things off for Grafton versus Thompson this afternoon. Olsen swings and drives 1 to second. 1 hopper that Gimbel's got cleanly over to first base for out number 1. 1 pitch and 1 out. In the top of the second, Soren Olsen will bounce out to first base. Well, better look at time for the second baseman, Eli Gimbel, after that first one got through the wickets on him, and that was not an easy play for Gimbel to make. The short hopper is never an easy defensive play, and that took a short hop to him. And we'll see Brody Lillimone step in for Grafton. Lillimone swings and drives 1 towards left center field. Shallow, and coming on is Brody Gibson waiting to make the play. And 2 are away now as Gibson runs that one down. You can see why they like having Brody Gibson back. 2 up, 2 down for Grafton here in the top of the second. You got to wonder with a physique like Brody Gibson, there must have been a sport he could have played if he wanted to somewhere, but decided to go the academic route while he was in college. Wes Johnson will take a pitch for a strike. But from the looks of it, as a running back, or something along those lines, there's a lot of teams that could have used Brody Gibson. The 0-1 pitch is a strike, and the count goes to 0-2. And I'm sure Nate Solis, the head coach for Thompson, would have loved to have swung him towards Valley City State. That's where Nate comes from. In solid Mayville State country here in Thompson, by the way. The 0-2 pitch to Wes Johnson. Shot left side and a glove play at third by Braden Tice. He goes up and makes a snare on a ball that was headed towards left field. And Grafton goes away, nothing across in their half of the second inning in a very, very fast top of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. We played an inning and a half. Your score on the Ultra scoreboard remains Grafton 1 and Thompson nothing. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Need seed, think Proseed. Proseed.net.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersSales.com.
Timeouts for changeovers brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of ag tires in the region, and brought to you today by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned promotional shop in Grand Forks. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and Thompson will send up Will Welke to lead things off against Kyler Drogue, who worked a 1-2-3 inning for Grafton in the bottom of the first, striking out a man. Drogue will wind and fire to Welke, swing and a miss. And it's no balls and a strike. Thompson head coach Nate Solis telling us in the pregame report that lately, Grafton seems to be drawing everybody's #1 pitcher. The last time we saw them, they had Tucker Ramdahl from Park River, probably a #1 up there. The 0-1 pitch is high. And Kyler Drogue, I don't know if he's going to be #1, #1A, #1B, #2 for Grafton. Villarreal obviously figures into that rotation after his performance against Larimore, but he's solid. 1-1 pitch is low. The count will go to 2 balls and a strike. But nonetheless, Coach Solis saying that one of the reasons why Thompson may be struggling a little bit for offense as of late is because they've just seen everybody's #1 pitcher at this point, which is part of the challenge of playing the games you play to figure out how to produce against a solid arm. The 2-1 to Welke, swinging a ground ball towards third and foul. That'll keep it at 2 balls, 2 strikes. There is a threat of a strand, or like a ragged type of shower out there tonight, a stray, if you will. Right now, it doesn't really look like that as a threat here. It doesn't feel quite right, but it doesn't feel really, stormy either. 2-2 pitches high. The count will go full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Drogue thought he had that one on the top of the zone. The potential for the weekend, though, that is something that we're watching rather closely. Payoff pitch on the way to Welke. Check swing, he went around. And strike 3 is going to be the call. Welke took a moment, but he'll be called out on strikes. And so out #1 recorded as Welke goes down. Took a moment to see there. The check swing clearly went around. I believe that was going to be on the swing, but it took a moment to get the call in. And 1 out, nobody on. Drew Odenbach, the Thompson designated hitter, will come to the plate. Drogue will kick and fire to Odenbach, swinging a foul back to the screen. No balls and a strike. The thing that you'll see here, Odenbach had a pretty good cut on a Drogue fastball, and when you've got teams of this level, Grafton, Thompson, the adjustments don't have to wait till the second time through the order. The 0-1, Odenbach takes a strike. The count will go to 0-2. The adjustments begin to happen from the dugout, coaches watching, players watching. And that's really the difference, I think, sometimes offensively between top-tier teams and teams in the bottom half trying to move up is how quickly you can come around to facing a pitcher. And these types of teams, Grafton and Thompson, they won't wait. They'll make adjustments based on what their teammates are showing up front. The 0-2 pitch, Odenbach swings and slices 1 foul. And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Scoreboard updates are brought to you by Altru. Regular screenings with Altru's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. The 0-2 to Odenbach misses away. We saw Drew Odenbach play defensively at first base. The first game of the year that we saw against Mayport CG was the DH against Park River and is the designated hitter here again today. The 1-2 pitch from Drogue misses low and away as well. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got a decent crowd here today for this one. The 2-2 on the way to Odenbach. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes, and that is 3 in a row that Kyler Drogue has erased by way of the K. 3 strikeouts for Kyler. They've come back to back to back. 2 out, nobody on. 5 in a row retired by Drogue to start the game for Thompson. And Johnny Muse, the left fielder, will come to the plate for post 181. Muse to the plate. And a look by Drogue, the pitch on the way. Called a strike. No balls in the strike, fastball. Boy, take a look at that outfield that Thompson has for speed. Muse, Gibson, Tice. Those 3 are going to cover a lot of ground on a lot of outfields wherever they go throughout the course of the year. The 0-1 pitch to Muse, swinging a fly foul out towards the parking lot. My pickup, and it just bounced to the right of it. That was really close. I tend to believe in the idea that the parking lot is kind of like a tree in golf, 90% air. You can park out there, but that one makes me change my mind. The 0-2, and here's a drive towards second base. Little floater that dies for a base hit. Johnny Muse will come in with a 2-out single for Thompson. Nothing that Ty Story could do about that one. That ball was dying off the bat, and by the time Story got to where it was going to be, it was basically on the ground right underneath his glove. No chance to glove that one in. So Thompson has a 2-out base runner here in the second. And Jeremy Tice, the right fielder, will come to the plate. Muse, good speed. Let's see if Thompson's thinking about activating the offense. Drogue's out of the set for the first time. Just above the buckle, he'll deliver high. The count is a ball and no strikes on Jeremy Tice. I don't think of Thompson as an overly aggressive base stealing team, but I do think that they will be timely about it, especially in situations like this. The 1-0 pitch. Tice swings and drives one towards the right field corner. This could be trouble. Long run to get there. Diving catch is going to be made out in right field by the right fielder, Soren Olsen. Wow. Unbelievable catch for Soren Olsen. Let's take a look at that on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. This is an unbelievable play out in right field towards the line. This one's going to go a while if he doesn't come up with a catch. A slicer off the bat of Jeremy Tice. Long run to get there. Diving stab right over the line that's made by Soren Olsen. And that's a heck of a play that you're looking to make in a game like this. And that will retire Thompson in their half of the second inning. No runs on a hit, 1 left on. We played 2. Your score, Grafton 1 and Thompson nothing. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Sports.
Picture yourself at Lake Region State College. With faculty and staff here to help you succeed, we know you by name. Picture your success as you get hands-on ready for the workforce or transfer on to earn your bachelor's degree. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. We go to the top of the third inning. Grafton leading Thompson by a score of 1-0. Trenton Keena back to the plate. He led things off with a single and has scored the game's lone run so far today. He'll take a breaking pitch from Braden Wolfgram, and the count is a ball and no strikes. Wolfgram will step into his set. The 1-0 pitch to Keena. Swing and a miss. Count levels up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Keene, as we mentioned, single and run scored. He's got the only hit for Grafton. There's only 2 hits on the board so far today. And coming around after advancing on a pass ball and scoring on an error, he swings and drives one to second. That's going to bounce over Eli Gemmel's head. And we'll see how that one's going to be scored. Eli's had a tough run out there at second base so far today. A hard bounce right in front of him, though, so there's that part of it that was coming up in that situation. Had to react when the glove came up. Did get the glove on it, though, and it got pushed towards his right side. They're going to rule that one an error on the second baseman. So a couple of errors today for Eli Gemmel. And another base runner on for Thompson. Leadoff man aboard, actually rather for Grafton. And a curveball taken for a strike by Cruiser Burns. So no balls and a strike on Cruiser Burns. He walked his first time up. Wolfgram has 3 strikeouts today to go along with 1 walk in his repertoire. He'll make a move to first base. That was close over at first base, but looked like Welke had a hard time digging up the baseball as well. Kyler Droge has struck out 3, has not yet walked a man. And right now you can say that the error is one of the reasons why there's a score in this ball game. The run that Wolfgram has given up would be unearned. Bunt is shown, popped away. Dex Advem comes up with a baseball after knocking it down in front of him behind the plate. Pitch misses high. And it's a ball and a strike on Cruiser Burns. A set by Wolfgram. We'll look over to first. 1-1. Bunt is shown, bunted foul. And that may take the bat out of Cruiser Burns' hands as the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. Last night, the game we had for you on KNOX Live Sports. It was Fargo Post 2 with a 5-2 win over the Grand Forks Royals at Kraft Field. My thanks to Sam Jensen for taking the call on that one. And Joey Springer was there for video work last night. He's here in Thompson today for our videography work as well. The 1-2, swinging a ground ball, chopped foul to the third base side. And after tonight, I believe our next matchup that we have for you comes up next week, and it will be a non-conference affair as Grand Forks will go up against East Grand Forks. We'll be back here in a couple of Wednesdays for a matchup, I believe, between Thompson and Hillsborough Central Valley. The 1-2 is hit high in the air to left field, fairly deep. Johnny Muse backtracking after it. He'll make the catch. And Burns will fly out to left field for out number 1. There's a lot of room out there in the outfield for Thompson. Although to where that ball is hit, it's not incredibly deep. The sign up on the light pole is 311. So 311 to the pole anyway. It's probably going to put you maybe 315 to the school, but then you've got to hit it up on top of the school. I'm not sure how exactly that would play as far as depth is concerned as Tony Villarreal steps in. Villarreal slices one foul right side. Drew Odenbach, or actually Will Welke, has given it a look, but that'll drift over to the batting cage. 311 to the pole, 315 to the school. What do you think? You got to do about 322, 323 maybe to get it up on top of the school for a home run? That's probably close. No balls and a strike to Villarreal, the 0-1 pitch. High in the air on the infield. Gemmel chasing, Jeremy Tice coming in. Tice going to call Gemmel off and make the catch in shallow right field. Villarreal will fly out to right for out number 2. And with 2 outs and a runner aboard, it's Kyler Droge that will come to the plate. This is one of those places where I'd love to take a bag with Droge at the plate. Good place to start next inning, even if you do run yourself into an out at second base. Droge checks his swing, and the pitch misses low for ball 1. I just tend to favor a more aggressive game. I know that's probably why I'm not the coach. These guys have a lot more into it than I do, but center fielder aboard at first. A little running lead as the pitch is taken for a strike by Droge. But you have your center fielder aboard. You got your cleanup man at the plate, and if you do get thrown out at second, you're bringing Kyler Droge back to the plate to start the 4th, and kind of like where you're at that point. The 1-1 to Droge is a check swing low. The count will go to 2 balls and a strike. You don't expect Wolfgram to miss the zone too often, so this is probably your chance here. A set by Wolfgram. The 2-1 pitch. Droge swings and grounds one to short. Schumacher's got it. He'll flip to second base to Gemmel covering. That's going to force Keene. 6-4 on the putout, and we'll see Kyler Drogue rolling to a fielder's choice to end the inning. No runs, no hits, and error. One runner left, and we've played 2.5. Your score in the All-True scoreboard remains Grafton 1 and Thompson nothing. Our changeover is brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, the #1 supplier of egg tires in the region, and also brought to you today by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned promotional shop in Grand Forks. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Sports.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and egg tire supplier, and with Harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Welcome back to our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. We will go to the bottom of the third inning. Eli Gemmel will lead things off for Thompson. Dex Advem to follow. Our coverage brought to you today by Rivards Turf and Forage. They're a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. They have science on their side at Rivards. All of their products can be changed throughout the course of the year to meet the growing conditions of the region. And you've got growing conditions that are different right now from 1 yard to the next or one plot to the next. You need the science of Rivards Turf and Forage on your side. Find them at rivards.com as a pitch to Eli Gemmel misses high for ball 1. Kyler Drogue for Grafton, 2 innings of work, no runs on a hit. He struck out 3. Gemmel, the #8 man in the order, first time up today. Thompson will make it through the order for the first time in this half inning. The 1-0 pitch. This is low. 2 balls, no strikes on Eli Gemmel. Long look in by Drogue. He's ready. And the 2-0 pitch, called a strike down at the bottom of the zone around the knees. Got one lone fan out there in the football bleachers here today. Kind of taking in the game from center field. Different angle. 2-1 pitch. That one called a strike as well on Gemmel. And the count will go to 2 balls, 2 strikes. They got the concession stand open. They've got some mean burgers over there, folks. I had one last week. That's some good stuff. The 2-2 to Gemmel is high, and the count will go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Drogue hasn't walked anybody yet today. He's perhaps had a couple of additional misses in the count as of late, but that is a very minor difference. He'll deliver 3-2 to Gemmel, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. Gemmel becomes strikeout victim number 4 for Kyler Drogue this afternoon. Kyler Drogue with a big start today, retiring 7 of the first 8 that he's seen. And with 1 out and the base is empty, Dex Advem, the 8th grader, coming to the plate here for Thompson. Advem stands ready. Pitch called a ball just inside. Talking today with Nate Solis, the head coach for Thompson, about his young catcher, and he said Ryan Advem, the assistant coach for Thompson, has been with Nate Solis for all 5 years, the Legion program here. 1-0 pitch misses high. So he says that Dex Advem, Ryan Advem's son, even though he's an 8th grader, he's been around the team since really he was a 3rd grader, so he understands how baseball's supposed to work. He understands the jargon, the lingo, how players are coached, and good insight on it. 2-0 pitch misses away for ball 3. And what we've seen so far from him this year in the Legion season, go back to that game against Mayport CG, bare hands of baseball. Last week against Park River, back picked a runner at first base. I mean, he's been very good defensively. Maybe a little shaky here today. A few balls have bounced out of the glove. 3-0 from Drogue, called a strike right down the heart of the plate. And it's 3 balls and a strike. 1-0 Grafton in the bottom of the 3rd inning. A little bit of a breeze that's being picked up now in the background here as well. Drogue ready. 3-1 to Advem, swinging a drive up the middle. Slow hopper picked up by Villarreal. He's got to rush his throw, but he's got it. That's a nice defensive play by shortstop Tony Villarreal for out number 2. One of those that drifts and hangs up on the infield, and with good speed going down the baseline. Remember, Advem batted leadoff for Thompson the last couple of games. If you're Villarreal, you know you've got sort of an internal clock on that. It's losing pace on the way out to you. And by the time you field it, you know you've got to get a throw over to first base. Brody Gibson, top of the order, comes back to the plate for Thompson here in the third with 2 outs. Nobody on, and Gibson grounds towards Villarreal. Villarreal has it cleanly, throws offline, and Gibson will step over first base. He thought about taking second. He won't have to think about it. Ball goes into the Thompson dugout, and Gibson, I believe, is going to get second base automatically, and he will. So an error that'll be charged to the shortstop, Villarreal, and that'll put Gibson over at second base. Again, the ball going into dead ball territory. It's 2 bases from the time the ball is thrown. So Gibson gets first and second and stands in scoring position for Thompson as Braden Wolfgram comes to the plate. This brings us to another part of the game that Coach Solis talked about in the pregame report, capitalizing on another team's mistakes. Tying runs in scoring position here in the third. You've got your number 2 man at the plate with 2 outs. Apologies to the viewers. Didn't have that second out up there. And does Thompson capitalize, or does Kyler Drogue get the big out and keep Thompson off the board? The 1-0 pitch to Wolfgram bounces. A long look by Brody Gibson from second base, but he's going to hold on as Cruiser Burns was able to keep that close for Grafton. 2-0 now to Braden Wolfgram. Wolfgram 0 for 1 with a ground out to third, his first time up. Drogue taking a look in. He'll set just below the letters. Couple of checks back at second base. The 2-0 to Wolfgram. Check swing, and it's called a strike. Two and 1 the count on Braden Wolfgram here in the bottom of the third inning. 1-0 Grafton, each team with 1 hit. It's been a traditional type of tight baseball game thus far between a couple of good teams. The 2-1 high, and the count will go to 3 balls and a strike. Kyler Drogue a little frustrated with himself after missing on that one. Grimaces a little bit, talks to himself under his breath. Thompson would follow with Tom Schumacher next. A look back at second base. The 3-1 to Wolfgram, swinging a high fly ball to center field. In the gap towards right. Long run for Trenton Keena, but he's got it. Keena will run down the fly from Wolfgram for out number 3. The error does not come back to do damage as Thompson will strand a base runner in scoring position. There'll be no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 runner left on base, and we have played 3 full. Your score on the Ultra scoreboard remains Grafton 1 and Thompson 0. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to GrandForksWelding.com.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, no matter what the size, PS Doors offers the proper service for you. Get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network. Changeover is brought to you today by Big Jim's Tire, your number 1 supplier of ag tires in the region, and brought to you today as well by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround promotional goods store, family owned in Grand Forks. We've made it to the middle inning, and our middle inning, as our half times and intermissions have been throughout the year, brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel at 1812 Gateway Drive in Grand Forks. And brought to you by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, as Ty Story steps in for Grafton. Strikeout victim is first time up. Wolfgram delivers, and Torrey fouls one off. Cow will go to no balls and a strike. Get the chemicals out of your water with the system from High Plains Water. No more scaly buildup around your fixtures. Appliances that last longer, chemicals out, water in, better tasting tap water. Quality of living goes up with the system from High Plains Water. Your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, as Story swings and misses. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes from Braden Wolfgram to Ty Story, the 0-2 pitch in the turf. Grand Forks Welding and Machine bringing you the middle inning. Grand Forks Welding and Machine is the men of steel. And when you've got problems throughout the course of this agricultural season, you're going to want the men of steel on your side. Get those holes tightened up. If you've got broken shafts, twisted shafts, they can get those fixed for you in a hurry so you don't have downtime and your operation can continue running. Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the men of steel at 1812 Gateway Drive. Story, a ball and 2 strikes. Wolfgram will set for Thompson, delivers the 1-2, swinging a foul off the glove of Dex Advem. And it'll remain a ball and 2 strikes. Sun breaking out a little bit. 69 degrees as we got this one started today in Thompson, but according to the weatherman, it felt like 76, meaning that we've got a humid atmosphere in this one. Another 1-2 pitch, low. The count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Maybe more rain coming up this weekend, Friday night perhaps. The 2-2 pitch, hot shot, center field, long run. Brody Gibson, diving catch. A couple of defensive gems that we have seen today as Brody Gibson comes up without number 1 here in the Grafton 4th on a tremendous play. Let's take a look at it again in the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. This is a hot shot off the bat of Ty Story, and Brody Gibson, welcome to the team as of yesterday. Already one big diving stab today for Thompson, but he comes up big defensively and makes it nonchalant out at center field as Gibson comes up with a play on Story. Kyan Burns comes to the plate. The 0-1 to him is a check swing dribbler down the first base line. Little miscommunication there between Welke and Wolfgram, but first baseman Will Welke will pick it up and step on his own bag for out number 2. And 2 are away here in the top of the 4th inning for Grafton as Soren Olsen will come to the plate. Olsen swings and grounds one towards the right. Gemmel covering a lot of ground at second base to make that play. He comes up with a couple of very nice defensive plays for Thompson in that visitors' half of the 4th inning, and Grafton is down in order in their half of the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base, nothing across. We played half of the game. We're halfway home. We go to the bottom of the 4th next. Thompson trailing Grafton 1-0 on our All-True scoreboard. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. They have pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. Go to sprayadvantage.com.
Open all year round to the public, Eagles Crest offers space for holiday parties and family get-togethers. And of course, daily specials, appetizers, and all your favorites, including Sunday brunch buffets. Come in for the view and delicious meals at Eagles Crest Grill.
As guys, we all love our trucks. That's why Toys for Trucks is your headquarters for all things truck. They carry an amazing selection of rims and tires, plus floor mats, tonneau covers, hitches, plows, and even Excalibur remote car starters for any car, truck, or SUV. And the best part? They can install everything for your truck right at their location. Stop out at Toys for Trucks in Grand Forks to customize your ride, or check them out at toysfortrucks.com.
Well, as we go to the bottom of the 4th, we've got a myriad of defensive changes coming up here for Thompson. Kyler Drogue is going to be taken out of the game, and I'm going to assume there is a tournament that was talked about. Grafton is going to be involved in tournament baseball coming up, and they'd like to keep Drogue around without violating the pitch limit where he's forced into rest. And so after 3 innings, despite pitching extremely well, he'll be lifted from the game. So we will see Kyler Drogue going to first base. Brody Lillimone will go from first to short. Tony Villarreal will go from short to center. And Trenton Keena will come in to take over the pitcher's position from center field. So again, that's Keena to pitch, Drogue to first, Lillimone to short, Villarreal to center. This is an interesting pitching change for Grafton. As we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, you're changing up a couple of key positions. New center fielder, new shortstop, obviously a new pitcher as well, but it's 3 key positions to change up as we go to the 4th. As Thomas Schumacher, a strikeout victim his first time up against Drogue, will come to the plate to lead off the bottom of the 4th for Thompson. Keena delivers in the turf, and it's going to be a ball and no strikes on Schumacher. Drogue's line today, 3 innings of work, no runs on a hit. Struck out 4, no walks. Very efficient day today. And now it's up to Trenton Keena to keep Thompson at bay. And a curveball misses outside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. On Thomas Schumacher for Thompson. The 2-0 pitch to him. Takes that one inside for ball 3. Keena takes the glove off and rubs down the baseball. He had a long look in on that pitch. I think he felt like he had found the mark on that one, and he did not. The 3-0 pitch to Schumacher is low for ball 4, I believe. Schumacher takes a look, watches where the ball ends up, as that one wasn't handled cleanly by Cruiser Burns, but it'll be a leadoff walk for Thompson. To start the bottom of the 4th inning. So the tying run aboard for Thompson here in the 4th is Will Welke, a strikeout victim his first time up. Will come to the plate. Keena has what he's looking for. A look over to first base and the pitch, swing and a miss. He gets one by Welke, and the count, no balls and a strike. Get to that midseason tournament. I know that last year Grafton played down a tournament at Central Cass or at Castleton as a move is made over to first base by Keena. I think they like that tournament. Not sure if that's where they're headed next, but they were involved in some pretty competitive baseball in that one last year, and it's good to get out, see some other teams before you get into your league schedule. The 0-1 from Keena to Welke. Change up, got him swinging. No balls, 2 strikes. I just know that usually your shortstop's going to be a really good athlete. That's true for Grafton, Tony Villarreal. When you start making pitching changes that affect that position, I think coaches get some anxiety. A pop fly by Welke towards second. Ty Story tracking out into short right field will make the play. And Welke will pop out to second base for the first out of the 4th. 1 out, 1 on. Drew Odenbach, the DH, comes to the plate for post 181. Odenbach steps in. Short lead away by Thomas Schumacher. And a move that way. Lefty on the hill, so you're going to get that pretty good move to first base. When I was umpiring the game, that front foot always bothered me on that move from the lefty. Pitch misses low for ball 1. Not bothered me from the standpoint that I missed it. Bothered me. I thought we let that one get rather liberal. We gave him a 45-degree type of thing, and the 1-0 pitch called a strike on the inside corner. Count goes to 1-1. The way the rule book reads is that if that front foot comes towards the plate in any way, you got to go to the plate, and something close to watch with these lefties on the hill. The 1-1 pitch, Odenbach swings and hits one foul back behind the plate. The count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. I actually just saw something come up in my social media feed about that, with an umpire talking you through it, saying, no, there's this unwritten 45-degree rule, and it's not to be followed. A set by Keena. He looks over to first base. A lead by Schumacher. The 1-2 to Odenbach. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Odenbach rung up on a breaking pitch that perhaps he wasn't expecting. And Keena has his first strikeout today. 2 are away for Thompson in the bottom of the 4th, and it's up to Johnny Muse, who's got the lone base hit for Thompson today to try to produce some offense. 1-0 lead for Grafton in the bottom of the 4th inning. Keena delivers to Muse. Curveball for a strike. Going to be a very different pitcher now than you saw from Drogue. Drogue a righty, Keena's a lefty. Beyond that, Drogue, lots of velocity. Keena, lots of movement. The 0-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball towards third. A hustle to get there by Kyan Burns. A spin and a throw, and that's a nice play by Kyan Burns for Grafton as he'll cut that one off and gun down Johnny Muse to retire Thompson. And they're half of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits. 1 left on for Thompson in the 4th. We've played 4 full. It remains a 1-0 Grafton lead as we make our way to the 5th, which is on the way in a moment. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Add a pop of color and excitement to your next celebration with Balloons by Misty. Their one-of-a-kind balloon design skills and creativity will make your event unforgettable. It's always a party at Balloons by Misty. Visit balloonsbymisty.com today.
Residents of the Midwest are known for being self-starters and getting the job done. But when it comes to electrical work, it's best to call a professional. Hi, this is Steve from Bergstrom Electric. It's true that there's a certain glory to accomplishing a task on your own, but it's our experience that not only will save you time, but also the headaches that go along with home improvement projects. A simple phone call to Bergstrom Electric can make all the difference. At Bergstrom Electric, the light does shine brighter.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting someone who pays attention to the little things that make a big difference. And to keep your family cool this summer, it takes Bryant.
Connect with Thermal Air today, your Bryant certified dealer.
Middle inning of today's matchup was brought to you by our friends at High Plains Water, your source for awesome water, and Grand Forks, and was also brought to you today by Grand Forks Welding and Machine. The Men of Steel as we make our way towards the top of the 5th. We're through 4 innings already. This game has just burned along on us today. And Brody Lillimon will step to the plate to lead things off for Grafton in the top of the 5th. And we'll take one for a strike. The count's 0-1. Lillimon stands ready. The 0-1 pitch to him. Turns away from that. That pitch misses inside. And the count will level up at 1 ball and 1 strike on Brody Lillimon. Grafton leading 1-0 in the top of the 5th, and something high and tight on Lillimon that he'll twist away from. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Wolfgram through 4, giving up an unearned run on a hit, striking out 3, walking 1. Lillimon uppercuts at a pitch down low. He's frustrated with himself, and the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. Fly out to center field so far today for Lillimon. Wolfgram takes a look in, has what he's looking for, the 2-2 pitch. Called, strike 3, got him on the outside corner. Lillimon a little frustrated as he took a look behind him, but that's strikeout number 4 today for Braden Wolfgram. And with an out, nobody on, Wes Johnson, the left fielder, to the plate now for post 41. Pitch to him, swinging a ground ball right side, laced in the hole, knocked down by Gemmel at second base, but no chance to get to it in time. That's going to be a base hit. Second hit of the game for Grafton. Wes Johnson just lacing one deep in the hole between first and second base. And there's a good effort made by Welke to get over, couldn't find it. Eli Gemmel had to cover a lot of ground to knock it down. He did, but there wasn't going to be anybody to throw to at first base anyway if he would have gloved it cleanly, as Wolfgram was struggling to get over there. So a 1-out runner for Grafton in the 5th. Trenton Keena, top of the order, due up. Keena will take one high. A ball and no strikes on Keena. Single and an error so far today. 1 for 2. Scored the game's lone run back in the first inning. The 1-0, swing and a miss. Healthy swing from Keena, comes up empty. The count's now a ball and a strike. Wolfgram sets below the letters. Check of the runner over at first base. Another check. The 1-1 pitch. Swinging a foul. Hit back behind the plate. Count 1-2. This game is officially an hour old, and we've burned our way through 4 innings and out here in the 5th. It's been a rapidly moving one. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Keena out on his front foot ahead of that. Strike 3. Keena becomes strikeout victim number 5 for Wolf Graham this afternoon. 2 outs, runner on first. And it will become the responsibility of Cruiser Burns to come up with a base hit, and he will do so. Burns swings and sends one to left field for a single. So a third hit today for Grafton, and they begin to try to put some things together with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning as Tony Villarreal will come to the plate. Well, another chance now for Grafton to produce. Villarreal reaching on an error and flying out so far today. But an opportunity to put something in play and produce another run for Grafton. He'll swing and hit one foul back behind the plate. And it's no balls and a strike on Tony Villarreal. If you're Grafton, this is the man you want at the plate in this situation with 2 on and 2 out. Trying to continue a rally and continue an inning. Wolf Graham will set, take a look back at second base. And the 0-1 pitch. Misses high. Count will go to a ball and a strike. Villarreal stands ready. Runners get their leads from first and second. The 1-1 pitch. Called a strike in the outside corner. Big moment here in the game. 1-0 lead for Grafton in the 5th. 2 outs, 2 on. Wolf Graham sets, checks back at second base. The 1-2. Hot shot right side. It's into right field for a base hit. Up with it, Jeremy Tice. Throw coming in, cut off. Play at the plate, and safe at the plate will be the call as rounding and scoring will be Wes Johnson, and it will make it a 2-0 game in favor of Grafton. Well, we'll take a look at it again in the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. The shot to right field. Play was cut off on the infield as you could see Johnson coming around to score, and that left hand just getting in ahead of the tag to score with some aggressive base running. And Grafton will take a 2-0 lead. Runners now at second and third as we'll see Burns move on to third, and moving up on the throw is Tony Villarreal after an RBI single. So 2 are still aboard with 2 outs. And Kyler Drogue to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day, the 1-0 to him. He'll take a strike. And the count will go to a ball and a strike. Drogue stands ready. Wolf Graham has what he's looking for. Will set just below the letters. And the 1-1 pitch. Drogue checks his swing and misses low on the pitch. The comment that we had from Nate Solis in the pregame report about stringing hits together. Well, it's Grafton that did that. They put 3 singles together. That's always a tough way to score runs. No walks, no errors to help out. Just lays 3 singles together. 2-1 pitches down. The count will go to 3 balls and a strike. Got some help on an infield hit. But Cruiser Burns keeping things alive with a single to left with 2 outs. And that moves you to Tony Villarreal, who comes up with a big shot. And aggressive base running scores the run. 3-1 pitch called to strike on Drogue. I think Drogue had felt like he had probably earned ball 4 on that one. And pitch down around the bottom of the zone, just misses. Count full. 3-2. And the payoff pitch. Swinging a foul. So Drogue stepping out, thinking he had ball 4. He missed on that one. Ends up on the bottom of the zone. Of course, he had a look at the game from the other side of things out on the pitcher's mound earlier in the ball game, so thought he had it measured. 3-2 pitch, Drogue, hot shot, left side, base hit. That's going to score Burns. Villarreal will be waved home as well. Throw will be to the plate, but not in time. 2 runs will score, and it will be a 4-0 lead in favor of Grafton. That's a lot of work with 2 outs for Grafton. Burns will score. Villarreal will score. Kyler Drogue with a single that brings in a pair. And it's now 4-0 in favor of Grafton. So Grafton up to a 4-run lead, kind of opening things up as Ty Story comes to the plate. Drogue took second on the throw to the plate, and Story swings and misses. The count will go to no balls and a strike. All this work being done against Braden Wolfgram, so Grafton's gone up against a tough pitcher. Found a way. The 0-1 pitch high. The count will go to 1 ball, 1 strike, and it'll be a little concerning for Nate Solis as well. What he told us in the pregame report, he was looking for somebody to really step up on the mound and own it, and Wolfgram's pitched well today, but Grafton getting to him here in the 5th inning with 4 singles. Swinging a foul back to the screen. Counts a ball and 2 strikes. Of course, you can qualify that. You go back to the infield hit for Wes Johnson, and if that one's really at an infielder someplace, probably going to be a 3-up, 3-down type of inning. But in the end, Grafton's come up with 3 straight hits with 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Story is down on strikes. The inning will come to an end. Braden Wolfgram has struck out 6, but Grafton comes up with 3 runs on 4 hits, and they will leave a runner at second. And at the end of 4.5 innings, new score on the All True scoreboard is Grafton 4 and Thompson nothing. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Since 1972, Jarrell's Sports Center and Hockey World has provided year-round sporting goods, apparel, and of course, hockey equipment and training tools. You'll also find they have a state-of-the-art skate sharpening machine to give you the edge you need. For anything sports, stop into Jarrell's and Hockey World.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Your local Circle K and Holiday Station stores are proud to support high school activities. Stop by the new Circle K location at 1316 South Washington Street for not only gas, but a wide array of hot and cold food, snacks for everyone, and a car wash. Open 24/7, 7 days a week.
We make our way to the bottom of the 5th inning. Grafton opening things up with a 3-run 5th on 4 hits, getting a lot of damage with 2 outs, and they'll take a 4-0 lead over Thompson. As we go to the bottom of 5, it's Jeremy Tice, Eli Gemmel, and Dex Advem, the bottom third of the order due up for Thompson. Our changeovers are brought to you today by Apex Apparel. They're your hometown, quick turnaround, family-owned promotional shop in Grand Forks. Apex Apparel, working with all the area teams in the region, and brought to you by Big Jim's Tire. They're your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. Jeremy Tice stands ready 0 for 1 on the day. Trenton Keena will miss low for ball 1. And it's a ball and no strikes on Trenton Keena. A look in by Keena, the 1-0 pitch. Hot shot, deep left field, hit well by Tice, but playable. Drifting back after it, Wes Johnson, and he'll come down with a catch. And out number 1 is recorded. Go back to the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. Talk about aggressive base running. Kyler Drogue with his single to left. 2 aboards with 2 out, and you can see right away Grafton not wasting any time. They're waving Villarreal home, who runs the bases pretty well. And a big shot to break things open for Grafton in the top of the 5th inning to pick up a couple of runs, and actually 3, 2 on that play. They talk about 2-out hits win games, and that one was good for a pair of runs to take a 2-run lead, turn it into a 4-run lead. A 1-0 pitch to Eli Gemmel, a swing and a miss. And the count was a ball and a strike. Gemmel 0 for 1, a strikeout victim of Kyler Drogue back in the 3rd inning. Pitch, a swing and a ground ball towards short. Lillimon has got it. He'll throw across the diamond for out number 2. And 2 up, 2 down for Thompson so far in the 5th. Stay tuned on our post-game report today. We will have a look at our game highlights immediately upon the completion of play. Post-game report brought to you by Spraying Advantage. Everything you need for spraying and application on your farm. And brought to you by Lake Region State College. At Lake Region State College, we change lives. Advem takes one high for ball 1. 2 out, nobody on for Thompson. Bottom of the 5th, Grafton leading 4-0 on the All True scoreboard. Advem stands ready, the 1-0. That one misses high. Advem was a ground ball out to short back in the 3rd and his only time up today. The 2-0 pitch. That one called a strike on the outside corner. Thompson's had 3 runners today. A single in the 2nd. Man reached on an error in the 3rd. A walk in the 4th. One hit so far this afternoon. The 2-1 ground ball hit foul. Advem out in front of that had made good contact with it. Just pulled it foul to the right. And the count's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 to Advem. Breaking pitch. Just misses high. Couple of cat calls from the crowd. They thought maybe that one had dropped in. Trenton Keena thought it dropped in as well. That's why he's pacing around the back of the pitcher's mound, but he'll set for a payoff to Advem. The 3-2 pitch. That one down low for ball 4, and Advem will reach with a 2-out walk. Second walk issued by Trenton Keena, and now we'll see the spoilers. I should say I knew I would do it once. I tried desperately to avoid it all day, but we will see Grafton go out and talk with their hurler. Coach Ilke, I believe it is, out to the hill to talk things over with his team, and Trenton Keena with a smile right now. I think they're still talking about that pitch that he thought he had worked a strikeout on Dex Advem, and pitch was ruled a bit up. That one can come down in a pretty good spot, but when you're throwing a breaking pitch, where it's caught sometimes isn't indicative of where it crossed the plate. And that was a borderline pitch, but on Dex Advem, who's not as big at the plate, that one seemed to come in right around the letters. They might have been talking about it a little bit again as they broke from the pitcher's conversation, but obviously a borderline pitch. But sometimes people think, oh, how could that one possibly be ruled up there? Well, it's not as decisive as you think it is when you've got a shorter hitter at the plate and a breaking pitch pitcher throwing the pitches. Runner goes. Brody Gibson swings and misses, and in second base safely with a stolen base will be Dex Advem. So Advem will swipe second, and Brody Gibson at the plate for Thompson. And that is a stolen base that Nate Solis uses more as a part of a mental part of the game rather than a physical part. Obviously still down by a 4-0 margin, but the 0-1 pitch on the way, Gibson swings and hits it foul. Count goes to 0-2. But in that situation, you take the bag. You've got a pitcher that's a little bit rattled. He's a little frustrated. You make something happen behind him on the base paths just to try to keep him there if you can, rather than moving up a really vital run into scoring position. The 0-2 to Gibson, swinging a foul. He shortens up his swing, hits it back. Thompson, a 14-2 win last night in league play over Hatton Northwood, and that's a quality win for Thompson at that point, but struggling from the plate tonight. Look back at second base by Keena, and the 0-2 to Gibson. Breaking pitch, misses upstairs. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes on Gibson. Gibson 0 for 2 in the game has reached on an error that came back in the 3rd inning. Look back at second base. The 1-2 pitch misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Brody Gibson. Again, when you see this kid at the plate and you take a look at the physique, you just know that if he would have wanted to play something in college, he certainly could have, but hasn't played. Going the academic route in college, certainly respect that. Comes back for his super senior season. 2-2 pitch is low, and it's 3-2. And Thompson's happy to have him. Center fielder, leadoff hitter, lots of speed, versatility, gives them some options. 3-2 the count on Gibson. 2 outs in the inning in the bottom of the 5th. Keena checks the runner Advem at second. The 3-2 pitch misses away for ball 4. And Brody Gibson will draw a walk. The 3rd issued by Trenton Keena today. Well, now things start to get interesting. Down 4-0. Thompson rallying, putting 2 aboard on a pair of walks to Advem and Gibson. And Braden Wolfgram at the plate as this gets into a pretty good spot in the Thompson lineup. 2, if you miss 3. Thomas Schumacher waiting in the on-deck circle for Thompson. The 1-0 pitch. Wolfgram swings and hits it in the air to right center field. Fairly well hit. Soren Olsen back after it. So is Tony Villarreal, and Villarreal will make the catch over in the right center field gap. Good closing speed by the center fielder to run that one down. And Grafton is Thompson is turned away after putting a pair of runners on board with no production in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, 2 left on. And we have played 5 full. Your score on the All-True scoreboard remains Grafton 4 and Thompson nothing. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Sports.
ProAg in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything ProAg has to offer.
You've been waiting for a chance to do something that matters, something big without a big price tag. Welcome to Northland Community and Technical College. Here you can have a big impact on a small campus, in classrooms that mirror today's workplace, with instructors who teach from experience and know you by name. You've been waiting for a place like this. Are you ready?
Our scoreboard is brought to you by All-True. Regular screenings with All-True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. Well, back to the 6th we go. Grafton leading 4-0 on the All-True scoreboard. And Kyan Burns will come to the plate as Braden Wolfgram runs out there for inning number 6 of work today for Thompson. And the first pitch on the way, a swing and a miss by Kyan Burns. The count, no balls and a strike. Kyan Burns has had a nice day down at third base today for Grafton. He's made a couple of very nice plays. A backhand play, covering some ground in the hole between short and third, swinging a flare foul, twisting out into the parking lot. No balls and 2 strikes. 4 runs on 5 hits for Grafton. No runs on a hit for Thompson. The 0-2 pitch. Chopped out towards short. Schumacher waits for it. He's got it. Throws across the diamond for out number 1. And Burns is out number 1 to start the 6th for Grafton. 1 out, nobody on, and that's going to bring Soren Olsen to the plate now for Grafton. Soren Olsen 0 for 2, a pair of ground outs to second base so far today. He swings and sends one right back to Braden Wolfgram on 2 hops. Wolfgram an easy throw over to first base for out number 2. And it's 2 up, 2 down for Grafton here in the 6th. So 2 away, Brody Lillimone will come to the plate now for post 41. Interesting colors for Grafton. They keep the maroon that the Spoilers have, but they take the gold away with these uniforms. Swinging a drive left side and right up to get it is Braden Tice at third. A liner by Lillimone, but Braden Tice comes up with another stare at third base, and it's nothing across for Grafton and their half of the 6th inning. We'll play 5.5 still on the All-True scoreboard. Grafton 4 and Thompson nothing. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Need seed, think Proseed. Proseed.net.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersales.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 4-0 Grafton. If Thompson's going to make something happen, it's going to be now. Thomas Schumacher, Will Welke Drew Odenbach are due up. Our changeover is brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of ag tires in the region, and Apex Apparel. They're your hometown quick turnaround, family-owned promotional shop in Grand Forks. You're getting ready for the fall. If you're an area team getting ready to put that spirit package together or get your team gear, check out Apex Apparel. They've got you covered in Grand Forks. Thomas Schumacher ready. 0 for 1 with a walk today. Trenton Keena delivers to him outside for ball 1. This is number 3, 4, and 5 in the order, so if you don't extend the inning with these guys, if you're Thompson, you may not get them back. The 1-0 pitch. Here's a shot to deep left field. Towards the school. Does it stay fair? It's foul. Oh, boy. Schumacher got all of that one and got just a little bit ahead of it. And it's just a long strike, as they say. The count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike on Tom Schumacher. Keena smiling a little bit on the hill as well. Knows he got away with one there. Turns out to be a foul ball. No big deal. 1-1 the count. And the 1-1 to Schumacher. Swinging a chopper towards third. Charged by Kyan Burns. A little trouble getting it out of his hand, but by a half step, he was able to get Schumacher over at first base. Burns charging it well, made a play in the glove well, just had a bit of a problem with the exchange, and Schumacher runs really well getting down the first base line. But Burns with a strong throw able to get him, and 1 out in the bottom of the 6th as Will Welke will come to the plate. Welke 0 for 2 with the strikeout and a pop out to second. Keena has his sign, delivers. Here's a swing and a drive to right field, fairly well hit. Soren Olsen back after this. Another good break on the ball. And Welke is out number 2. I'll tell you what, if you watch this game today, Grafton has had very, very good breaks on balls in the outfield. They have not misjudged anything. Those 4 men, Wes Johnson, Trenton Keena, and now Tony Villarreal in center, and then Soren Olsen, they just play so fundamentally well out in the outfield that a couple of balls that might have got over a player's head have been just routine outs as Drew Udenbach comes to the plate. And we go back to our keys to the game, brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. These were supplied by Grafton's coaching staff today. Strong fundamentals. You could see them talk about strong fundamentals as one of their keys, and they have played up to that and more, particularly in the outfield today. 2 balls, no strikes. Odenbach stands ready and takes one inside for ball 3. But Kyan Burns has been well at third as well, played very well on the fundamental side of things. I mean, they've had some pretty good defensive looks. 3-0 pitch. It's going to be up high for ball 4. I think Odenbach was waiting for that to be called a strike. And instead, he'll accept the 4th walk issued by Keena here today. Johnny Muse, 1 for 2. He's got the only hit so far for Thompson today. Comes to the plate here in the 6th. Odenbach will lead away from first base. A look that way and the pitch to Johnny Muse. Here's a hot shot in the left field corner. That one's going to roll back to the school. A turn by Odenbach. He's going to hold up at third base, and Thompson will have him at the corners, as you're going to see Muse held to just a single on a ball that goes hard into the brick face of Thompson Public School near door 9. So runners on the corners. 2 are on, 2 out. Apologies for those of you that didn't see out number 2 come up. It's because I didn't put it there. My mistake. And we'll see how Thompson plays this as Jeremy Tice will come to the plate. Tice stands ready. A set by Trenton Keena. The pitch. Hot shot in the air. Shallow center field. Drifting back is Story. He'll reach up and make the catch. Tice will pop out to the second baseman for out number 3. Thompson comes up with a walk and a hit, but will strand a pair of base runners and will go away without damage done in the 6th inning. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors, and Thompson will strand 4. And we played 6 full. Your score on the All True scoreboard remains Thompson trailing Grafton 4-0. This is our coverage of American Legion Baseball on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Picture yourself at Lake Region State College. With faculty and staff here to help you succeed, we know you by name. Picture your success as you get hands-on ready for the workforce or transfer on to earn your bachelor's degree. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
We go to the 7th inning, and after 6 full, Thompson trailing Grafton by a score of 4-0 as Grafton looks to tack on. Before trying to pitch for the victory here today, Wes Johnson will come to the plate for post 41 to face Braden Wolfgram, who looks to go the distance for Thompson here this afternoon. Pitch on the way to Wes Johnson. It's low for ball 1. Johnson scored in the 5th. He's 1 for 2 so far today. Wolfgram sets, delivers 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch called a strike in the inner half. Wolfgram hasn't pitched badly today, giving up 4 runs, 3 of which are earned. 5 hits, struck out hits, walked just 1. The 1-1 pitch. Here's a shot up the middle. Rolling on Schumacher. High hop. He's got it. Turns, throws, and how about that? Thomas Schumacher making a heck of a play to get Wes Johnson for out number 1 to shortstop. Boy, that's why he makes it look so easy out there. That ball's nearly in center field. The American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. When you see a Tom Schumacher play or a Thomas Schumacher play, you just kind of feel right about it. This ground ball's right over the bag, and it takes a high hop. He turns and throws in time to get the out, and you just don't do it a whole lot better than that, as we see Trenton Keena stepping to the plate, popping one up, and it drops in right field. No one taking control of it, and Trenton Keena is going to single to right field. There was a little miscommunication on that side of the field earlier in the game between second baseman Eli Gemmel and right fielder Jeremy Tice. They got out of it that time around, or the previous time, but this time ball falls in front of Tice for a 1-out single for Grafton, and Cruiser Burns will come to the plate. Burns will take one for a strike, and it's no balls and a strike. See if Thompson's, or rather if Grafton's feeling a stolen base here, leading 4-0, looking to tag on. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Cruiser Burns trying to climb the ladder on a pitch up. The count's no balls and 2 strikes. Cruiser Burns 1 for 2 today. Single, run scored in the 5th, walked in the 1st, flew out to left field in the 3rd. And now time is called. Again, stay with us. After the completion of the game, we'll go to our game highlights, brought to you by Proceed. Got plenty of defense to show you today. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. And down on strikes will be Cruiser Burns. That one's caught behind the plate by Advem. Strikeout number 7 for Braden Wolfgram this afternoon. And 2 are away for Grafton, now in the 7th. That'll bring Tony Villarreal to the plate. 1 for 3 today with a run scored and a single. That was a big one back in the 5th inning. And a swing at a pop fly in foul territory that will drift out into the parking lot. And the count's no balls and a strike. Villarreal's last at bat. A base hit for Villarreal in the 5th inning that extended an inning with 2 outs. It scored Wes Johnson. Made it 2-0, and then both Burns and Villarreal would score on Kyler Droge's single. That kind of broke the game open in favor of Grafton. Villarreal swings and fouls one off behind the plate. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Villarreal reached on an error back in the 1st inning as well. Has hit the ball fairly well today. Fly ball to right field to go with it, but has made some good contact at times today. Wolfgram, the 0-2 pitch to him is turf, and the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. Wolfgram shaking off a sign, and will set just below the letters. The 1-2 to Villarreal is high. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looking ahead to the Thompson 7th, it's Gemmel and Advem, numbers 8 and 9 in the order, and they'll have to produce to try to extend the game back to the middle part of the lineup. The 2-2 pitch. Villarreal, a check swing towards third, charged by Braden Tice. Off his back foot, was able to get Villarreal. There's another nice defensive play for Thompson. Villarreal is down on a ground out to third, and that will retire Grafton and their half of the 7th. No runs on a hit, no errors, a runner left on. We've played 6.5. Grafton pitches for the victory, leading Thompson by a score of 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th, and we'll do so next on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Sports.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with Harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Thompson trailing 4-0 to Grafton. Eli Gemmel will lead things off if things stay the way that we would expect them. We may see some changes along the way, but it looks like we're going to see one of them here as Thompson's going to make a change. And Caden Loyland will step in as the leadoff man here in the 7th, replacing Gemmel. He'll take a strike from Trenton Kina. And the 0-1 pitch to Loyland is low for a ball. Seeing Loyland in the starting role so far this year for Thompson. And Nate Solis in our pregame report tonight. The 1-1 pitch comes into him. He swings and hits it foul. Said that they had a pretty productive get-together about how to work through 12 bodies, all talented bodies in a 9 or 10-man lineup, and team coming together, accepting their roles. Loyland out there, 1-2 pitch from Kina is low, and the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. And there are going to be some lineups on some days where this might be where you make a contribution for Thompson by coming in off the bench. The 2-2 pitch to Loyland, swinging a ground ball that hops over pitcher Kina. Taken by the second baseman, Ty Story. He's got it for the out. Out number 1 recorded as a little bouncer up the middle is cut off. The real concern today for Coach Solis will be just 2 hits on the board for Thompson. He had said he wanted to see his team start stringing some hits together, and they weren't able to do that throughout the course of the day today. Dex Advem will come to the plate now for Thompson. Seeing 2 different pitchers. First was Kyler Drogue, who struck out 4. Didn't walk anybody. Trenton Keen has walked 4, but has given up just 1 hit so far. And so the Thompson bats quieted today by a couple of good arms from Grafton. The 1-0 to Advent. That one misses away for ball 2. But as we talked with Nate Solis in our pregame report today, and we asked him, okay, so, what's the next step? What do you want to see? And he said, well, we've got to see some stringing of hits together. 2-0 pitch to Advem. Takes a breaking pitch for a strike. Count 2-1 on Dex Advem, who's walked and stolen a base today. He's 0 for 1 for Thompson. Kina will deliver 2-1. That one misses low. And it's 3 balls and a strike now on Trenton Kina, on Dex Advem. The 3-1 pitch. Breaking pitch misses outside for ball 4. Advem looked a little surprised that he was heading down to first base. I think he thought he was going to get tagged on a strike on that one. And instead, Thompson has a 1-out base runner. And it looks like Advem is going to be replaced in the lineup as well. Mac Michelson will come on to run for Advem. Mac Michelson we've seen in a starting role already this year as well. So Michelson is a 1-out base runner and faces a move towards first base. He dives back to the bag as Brody Gibson comes to the plate for Thompson. Gibson 0 for 2, reaching by way of a walk today. He swings and drives one foul to the right side. Gibson walked in the 5th, reached on an error back in the 3rd. Bats here in the 7th, and the bottom of it with Thompson trailing 4-0. Pitch to Gibson, misses away for ball 1. The count 1 ball, 1 strike. Keena taking a look in, checks the runner over at second base. And the 1-1 pitch, misses low. Well, if you're Keena, the one thing that you don't want to do is put someone on for free in this situation. If you extend the game, Wolfgram, Schumacher, waiting in the wings. 2-1 pitch and a swing and a ground ball to short. Lillimone struggles with picking it up, and everybody's going to be safe. Lillimone was thinking about 2 and won't get anybody. That'll be an error. That will allow Gibson to reach, charge to the second base, or rather to the shortstop. Brody Lillimone on to second base goes Mac Michelson. And with 1 out and 2 aboard for Thompson, Braden Wolfgram will come to the plate, trying to dig into a Grafton 4-0 lead. Keena delivers low for ball 1. Tough play for Lillimone. He was thinking 2 and just kind of bobbled the ball as he was looking to make the exchange. He gloved it cleanly, but couldn't get it over to his bare hand. The 1-0 pitch. Here's a shot to left field that will drop for a base hit. Knocked down in left field by Wes Johnson. Station to station as Wolfgram leases a single to left field. And the game's not over yet. Thompson has loaded the bases. So with 1 out, post 181 loads them up down 4. And we'll see another meeting on the hill as Trenton Keena either going to pitch himself out of trouble, or we'll see Grafton going another direction with a baseball. Right now, Keena's got the ball in his glove, and so it would appear that this one's going to be a rally the troops moment for Grafton. And Thomas Schumacher coming to the plate, and this is a dangerous at-bat coming up for the Grafton defense. Schumacher just put one on the roof of the school foul in his last time up, and if he were to do that in fair territory here, the game is tied. 1 out, bases loaded. In the bottom of the 7th inning, Schumacher 0 for 2, walked in the 4th inning. Keena remains the man, and Keena will deliver to Schumacher. Pitches low for ball 1. Mac Michelson at 3rd, Brody Gibson at 2nd, Braden Wolfgram at 1st, the 1-0. Pitch misses high. 2 balls, no strikes. Runners take their leads again. Thompson trailing 4-0, 3 hits in the game, but trying to rally in the bottom of the 7th. 2-0 pitch, misses low and in. 3 balls, no strikes on Thomas Schumacher. No place to put him. A walk brings in the game's first run for Thompson. Keena sets, takes a look in. The 3-0 pitch, high for ball 4. That's a bases loaded walk. And Thompson is on the board and will put the tying run on base here in the 7th inning. Gibson to 3rd, Wolfgram to 2nd. Schumacher drives in a run with the 6th walk issued by Trenton Keena today. It's 4-1 on the all-true scoreboard. And the bases will remain loaded as Will Welke will come to the plate. Still just 1 out also. Welke ready. Keena is as well. And the pitch to Welke. Swinging a high fly ball to right field shallow. Long run, and it's going to be the second baseman, Ty Story, drifting over to make the catch. Welke will pop out to the second baseman for out number 2. And it will come down to Drew Odenbach, the designated hitter. Big out to get for Trenton Keena. Gets a pop out from the cleanup man for Thompson with runners on. And now Drew Odenbach at the plate, a pair of strikeouts. He's drawn a walk. He's 0 for 2 today. Keena sets and delivers to Odenbach. Pitch misses high for ball 1. Gibson reached on an error. He's at third. Wolfgram singled. He's at second. Thomas Schumacher walked and is currently at first base. The tying runs aboard. Odenbach swings and hits one foul for ball, or actually for strike 1, rather. Good swing that time by Drew Odenbach. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners take their leads again. Keena is set. The 1-1 pitch to Odenbach. Ground ball up the middle. This will be cut off by Story, and it gets through for a base hit out into center field. Coming home to score will be Gibson and Wolfgram, and Schumacher, after a moment of hesitation, finds his way to third, and it's a 1-run ball game at 4-3. Be an error that'll be charged to second baseman Ty Story, bringing home Gibson and Wolfgram, and Thompson's back within 1. Tying run at third base for Thompson, and Johnny Muse will come to the plate. And the crowd begins to come to life. Muse swings and pops it up on the infield. Stepping back and making the catch will be the first baseman, Kyler Drogue. Muse pops it out to the first baseman for out number 3. Thompson challenges but comes up 1 run short in the 7th inning. 3 runs will come across on just 1 hit. There were 2 errors and 2 left on. And your final score this afternoon will be Grafton 4 and Thompson 3. We go to our post-game report. And our post-game report brought to you today by Spray Advantage. Everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. And Lake Region State College. At Lake Region State College, we change lives. Let's take a look at our Plays the Game brought to you by Proseed. You need seed? Think Proseed. Proseed.net. Defensive gems. Getting this one started. Fly ball to right field today. Soren Olsen coming up with a diving grab. This one sent out towards the line, and Olsen covering a lot of ground and making a catch that kept Thompson away from threatening early in the game. Thompson can do that as well. Welcome back to baseball, Brody Gibson. Here's a fly ball and a line drive to center field. Gibson reaching out and making a diving grab for Thompson. 1-0 lead for Grafton at that point, but Grafton would begin to break the game open in their half of the 5th inning. Here's a ground ball that comes off the bat of Tony Villarreal. They were waving home a runner. Close play at the plate. Left hand is in time. That made it 2-0 in favor of Grafton. And then an at-bat later, Kyler Drogue with the big blow. He drives one out to left field that would score 2 runs, and that would be the eventual game-winning hit and game-winning run, making it a 4-0 game at that point. Thomas Schumacher showing us a big play, though, and actually we'll get to Thomas Schumacher's play coming up here in just a couple of moments as we'll give you a couple of additional highlights. But those were our Plays the Game brought to you by Proseed. Need seed? Think Proseed. Proseed.net. And we take you to our post-game report today brought to you by Spring Advantage at Lake Region State College. And we'll come back with our post-game totals. Couple of additional highlights and start wrapping this one up for the day as we continue along here in Thompson. Your final score is Grafton 4 and Thompson 3. We'll come back with a couple of additional highlights and our player awards along with the game totals next.
Franson Bank and Trust in Grand Forks is a community bank that caters to businesses, farms, and consumers. They provide customized financial solutions with personalized customer service. Let Franson Bank give you the banking relationship you deserve. Real people, real results.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new again. Big or small, at Finest Auto Trim, we can cover it all. To check out our services, go to finestautotrim.com or stop out on Demers Avenue in Grand Forks to get your quote today.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Plus, they also carry a full line of ice melter products for your home or business. To check out all their products, go to rivards.com.
Add a pop of color and excitement to your next celebration with Balloons by Misty. Their one-of-a-kind balloon design skills and creativity will make your event unforgettable. It's always a party at Balloons by Misty. Visit balloonsbymisty.com today.
Since 1972, Jarrell's Sports Center and Hockey World has provided year-round sporting goods, apparel, and of course, hockey equipment and training tools. You'll also find they have a state-of-the-art skate sharpening machine to give you the edge you need. For anything sports, stop into Jarrell's and Hockey World. Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Blue-Rich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335. We welcome you back to our post-game report today, brought to you by Spray Advantage and Lake Region State College, as Grafton comes up with a big win, 4-3 today over Thompson in this matchup, and Grafton getting that victory, going to move their record, I believe, to 5-1 on the year now. Again, not a lot of offense until later in the game, but it was a big inning for Grafton in their half of the fifth inning. Tony Villarreal with 2 outs, sending one towards the right side for a base hit that would score the second run of the game. And then Kyler Drogue, just a second later after that close play at the plate, Drogue comes up with a solid shot to left field today, and that would allow for Grafton to score the game-winning runs in succession today in those 2 at-bats to make it a score of a 4-0, but Thompson would challenge. You have an opportunity here to see one of the best in the game do his craft. Thomas Schumacher at shortstop, ground ball up the middle. Schumacher getting the high hop over second base, the spin, the throw. I mean, you can't make it look a whole lot better than Thomas Schumacher made it look there. And Thompson coming up with Drew Odenbach sending one out towards second base that was missed and trickled out into center field for Grafton. That brought a couple of runs to come in and score. And Thompson comes up just a little bit short today. Some more of the plays of the game brought to you today by Proceed. Need seed? Think Proceed. Proceed.net. But Thompson comes up a run short by a final score of 4-3 in this matchup today. Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. The difference between Spray Advantage and their competitors is that Spray Advantage has what you're looking for in stock. Tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain cart, seed tenders in 2 locations to serve you in Grand Forks and St. Thomas. Spray Advantage, make them a part of your agricultural game plan now and for years to come. And brought to you today by Lake Region State College in Devils Lake. At Lake Region State College, we change lives. Precision agriculture, law enforcement, nursing, just a couple of the careers that you can supercharge your way into at Lake Region State College. Get done in 2 and start earning, or take your credits with you to any 4-year institution in the North Dakota University system and continue that educational journey with Lake Region State College campuses in Devils Lake, their main campus at the Grand Forks Air Force Base, and online at lrsc.edu. Well, let's take a look at our post-game totals that we have for you today. Grafton, 4 runs on 6 hits. They will commit 3 errors, and they will leave 5. And the win, technically, is going to go to Trenton Keena, who comes in today and does 4 innings of the work today for Grafton. Kyler Drogue got the start today, went 3, but Trenton Keena will end up picking up the win today, as Keena will give up 3 runs this afternoon, only one of which I believe is going to be earned. Let's take a look at that last inning that he had today. I believe that 2 outs. No, none of those runs are going to be earned today, if I am penciling this in correctly. There's an error. Should have been outs. Yeah, he'll give up 3 runs on the day, but no earned runs for Keena. And Keena will end up allowing 5 base hits. Keena will end up striking out 1, walking 6 today. So he got away with a tough day as far as walking batters, but Keena picks up the win. For Thompson, 3 runs on 3 hits. They'll commit 2 errors and leave 6. And the loss will go to Braden Wolfgram today. Wolfgram ends up going the distance. 7 innings of work today. He will give up 4 runs, 3 of which were earned on 6 hits. He struck out 7 and walked just 1. The loss to Wolfgram, the win to Keena. 4 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors, 5 left for Grafton. 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, 6 left for Thompson. Your final score today will be Grafton 4 and Thompson 3. The game played an hour and 41 minutes, began at 4:57, ended at 6:38 Central Daylight Time here in Thompson, North Dakota. And that will do it for our coverage of Legion Baseball this afternoon, as we saw a good one here today with some great defensive plays in this one. Can't say enough about some of the leather that was flashed today. Right fielder Soren Olsen for Grafton running one down towards the line. Just an unbelievable play to help keep Thompson away from scoring early. And then back to the team today for Brody Gibson. Gibson coming up big on a fly ball out in center field. Line drive play there. But the big blow is done today by Kyler Drogue with runners aboard. He drives one into left field for a base hit that would score 2 this afternoon. That ends up being the difference as Grafton wins it by a final score of 4-3 today. And the post 41 Grafton team will take out post 181 in Thompson. Game 2 is going to be underway in just a bit here in Thompson. That'll wrap up our coverage today. We thank all of you for joining us as this coverage brought to you by Rivard's Turf and Forage, a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. Rivards.com, and also brought to you by Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. We will see you again next week. For KNOX Live Sports, I'm Ryan Cunningham saying so long.